I made it. Get used to the idea. My mic is hot too. Okay, I made it. Whew, what a drive. Hi, how you doing? 5 hours in a little bit later. And yeah, not too much traffic, just enough. Just enough to make you go, you know what, maybe I should pull over and keep going. Hi there, everybody. I have so much to cover today. It's one of those days like you'd think on one of these days where there's just a lot, where there's going on in your personal life and stuff, that there'd be sort of like a news moratorium, something would grind to a halt. A little bit of, I suppose, things would soften. No, not at all. Today, it's like they know. It's like the Pentaveret, the Illuminati are keeping track. By the way, welcome chat room. You made it too. I don't want you to think I forgot you. And did my camera? Did I shrink or grow? I grew. It's lovely. I think maybe that's the thing. Wee. Nuckchuck. And I've got to fix this one thing over here in my there we go. In this chat on the. Yeah, there we go. So at least people can see what the heck is going on a little bit. On the folks over at Instagram who are watching, hi everybody. Hit the like, share the show, patreon.com/HalSparks, all the stuff. My entire schedule and show are going to be thrown into, there's going to be a monkey wrench thrown into the mix over the next little bit. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time by not apologizing. As we say around here, family first, and life takes its own turn. So that's what I'm doing. So tomorrow I will be doing regular shows and then taking a red eye home to see my dad, and we'll do our best to keep together during this and try to keep shows running. And I don't think he'll mind. As a matter of fact, he naps a lot these days, so I'll probably be able to work around that in the same way that I used to work around when Cam was little, and I would go, all right. He's sleeping. I'll do a show until he wakes up. So, hi everybody. Yeah. Lots of stuff. Holy shit. Just so much stuff. So, it's a lot. And it's a lot of fun, actually. I have to say, there's a little bit, there's stuff about this at the very least where I'm like, you know what? This is a nice thing to have to point at. Let's start out real quick with, the red state governor's reaction to the end of SNAP benefits that will be starting on Saturday. Yes, no flapper show. I let them know. I tried to figure a way that I could do it and get through, but so I'm punting that. All the Patreon folks, I will figure out a way to make it up to you with an extra comedy show at some point in the near future. We'll figure it out. Work with me on that. And we'll do our best to make it happen. That said, I have stuff in my pockets. I'm wearing my mud coffee shirt. You can tell I'm in like, this could be comfortable. Actually, it was one of the few clean shirts I had at the house in LA. So I threw it on for the drive because I was stanky enough. I have not showered since yesterday, so forgive me. My hair is super like hard because I spray painted it into a ponytail. I was like, shh. And then I made silver streaks in it for the show last night, for my silver outfit that I was wearing for the show last night. And then I was like, I don't have time to wash the silver streaks out. I'll just I'll just cover it up. So, yeah. Hi. How you doing? That's good stuff. So I'm crunchy right now and a little bit stinky. But luckily, this is not smell-o-vision. It's all right. Yeah, I have Devo hair. I mean, it's not that bad. I gave myself a little bit of a haircut and gave myself some bangs, um, to make it more manageable. And what's happened is it's given me Elvis hair if I'm not careful. Thank you very much. So somebody was saying it's hilarious that Ontario produced Reagan tariff video has pissed off the president. He can't handle the truth. Yeah, well, I mean, we know this. Hair looks strange. Thank you very much. It's just in a see. You can still see some of the silver right here. I tried to clean it up, but whatever. Anyways, wait, that's not important. It's not important. It's silliness, and there should be more silliness in the world. And I look forward to potentially more silliness for you in the near future after a mild pause. We'll see. Oh wow, look at that, 666 likes in 8 minutes. I mean, it's a good time to have we haven't done a super chat of 666 in a long time, so feel free if you want to help me buy 666 Fifth Avenue away from Jared Kushner and fans, so that I can give a floor of it away to the Carter Foundation and Habitat for Humanity. I look like a human Lego. Thanks very much. That's very sweet. I feel like a human Lego right now. I'm stacked on top of myself. It's good. All right, let me show you a little bit something. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this would be. Oh, why is my framing all off? I hate when that happens. I don't like it. Oh, I hate it when that happens. This is the Republican governor of Louisiana, where the meritocracy chose to get their Speaker of the House from, in a state that's last in everything except cancer clusters. Can I just say that they are always in the running for number one, or more aptly, number two in cancer clusters in the country? Louisiana cleans that shit up. Oh, yeah. Like all the things that they allegedly give a fuck about, obesity rates, poor outcomes in public schools. It's interesting that public schools can have variance in quality if it's a problem with it being provided by the government. That public schools can produce some of our greatest thinkers in the North States, where they pay a lot of money and put a lot of money into those schools because they, I don't know, give a shit about kids. Whereas in the South, they could do the same thing, but no, not so much. Anyways, this is him trying to shift blame to Democrats about the shutdown.
We collectively have worked tirelessly to make our state safer, improve our education.
Tirelessly. Well, you look well rested.
Lower taxes, reform our legal system.
Why would you have to do all that shit?
And ignite an economic boom that is literally historic.
It's literally not.
And more importantly,
by the way, unless this asshole is taking credit for like AI facilities and chip facilities being built in Arizona thanks to CHIPS and Science Act.
And again, I will give the credit to the legislature as well, and to our great cabinet. We have been fiscally responsible in the way that we have managed the affairs of our state government.
Well, that's really easy when you get a shit ton of federal dollars and don't put any into the federal system. When you get back from the federal government $1.46 or some odd from compared to what you put in, yeah, tell me all about how you're fiscally responsible.
Which gives us an opportunity.
Thank you, know what I'm saying?
To be able to act with compassion and reason.
That's hilarious.
When you're not fiscally responsible, when you don't understand how to ensure that you have money.
Oh, well, one of the ways that you ensure that you have money is to get it from the federal government.
A rainy day, then you can't act when it rains.
You can't?
And certainly, if you...
Is there an I in can't? I don't think so. I think I could build an entire self-help empire on the phrase, there's no I in can't. All right.
If you're...
Can't. Motherfucker.
Elderly person who needs the SNAP benefits program, the food
The elderly.
stamp program, if you're a disabled person, if you're a child, then it's going to be raining for you because of the decisions that Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats are making in Washington, D.C.
What about if they need health insurance? I'm kidding. You don't want them to have health insurance.
And I want to make sure we understand that the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Majority Leader Steve Scalise, and that House have voted and sent to the Senate. And our senators in Louisiana have voted again and again. And even
Senators. Our senators.
in the Senate, there are Democrats in the Senate who are willing to open the government up.
Not if it means denying 24 million people health insurance.
But yet, Chuck Schumer won't do it.
Well, if they'll vote for it, then and there's enough of them. What difference does it make what Chuck Schumer wants?
We've reduced total state funds.
They've voted for it like twice a day, every day for the last couple of weeks. Is the House in session real quick? Are all the members of Congress that have been duly elected, have they been sworn in the House of Representatives? Why not? If the House has already done its business and sent its bill upstairs to the Senate, and they're willing to open shit up, why aren't they in session? Why not? Why would that be, other than the fact that Epstein files?
Spending by $1 billion over the last 20 months. And our tax reform has freed up money.
Oh, has it?
All of these savings give us flexibility in times of crisis.
Oh, yeah? Is there a time of crisis?
And today, we're leading, and we're going to lead. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has confirmed that there will be no new federal SNAP benefits starting on November 1st if Chuck Schumer does not relent and they don't open up the federal government.
First of all, asshole, you guys are against SNAP, period. Your state does not and could not have the funds for SNAP if it wasn't for California and New York and Illinois and even, I suppose, Texas, which again relies on the resources there, not the sort of genius. I'm sure that the tax base was improved once, it probably doubled once Joe Rogan moved there to $75 that it pays in versus, $58.32.
Let me tell you what that means. That means that
That'd be about 2/3. I know. I understand. I'm just fucking around.
almost 800,000 people right here in Louisiana, which means almost 1 in every 5 Louisiana residents
1 in 5 Louisiana residents what?
could lose access to food assistance.
1 in 5 Louisiana residents needs food assistance. Guess what, dummy? That means you suck.
They depend on to feed themselves and their family.
Why would that be?
This Schumer shutdown started on October 1st.
No. The problem isn't what started on at the beginning of the government shutdown. The problem started when fucking 20% of your state's population needs food assistance.
So what have we been doing?
Sitting there with your thumb up your ass. Let's see. Let's see. Population of Louisiana overall is 4.6 million people. So Louisiana has fewer people in it. The whole fucking state has fewer people than Los Angeles. Almost half of Los Angeles County. Louisiana, the whole fucking state, has half the population of Chicagoland, the greater Chicagoland area. The whole fucking state. You guys have to manage fewer people than the mayor of Los Angeles, than the mayor of, well, whole shit. What? Let's see. Let's see. To Louisiana. Let's see. So Louisiana has approximately the same population as Boston. San Francisco, Oakland, and Berkeley, the San Francisco area, has more people than the entire state of Louisiana. Well, yeah. Let's see. It goes. He likes to put. Let's see. Well, it's. Yes. Let me see that. This asshole has the same coverage as a fucking mayor, and 20% of his population needs Boston proper has 675. The Boston metro area. Let's see. Has Boston, Cambridge, and Newton metropolitan area, which is it's like Chicago. Chicago has technically other cities, but they're all covered by the Chicago, like the industry and the governmental structure of Chicago. So Chicagoland is what they often call it. That area has somewhere between, depending how far you want to go out, if you want to go out to the fucking airport, it's between 7 and 10 million people. Chicago proper has 3, almost by itself. Like, just straight up fucking Chicago is on par with the size of this. They have 2 senators and a bunch of Congress people and a state legislature, and a state senate, a state house. Let's see. Louisiana has the same number of people in it approximately as Kentucky does, and Oregon does. Let's see. Let's see. What about? Let's compare. Let's see. Louisiana's GDP is $327 billion. In 2025, it's approximately 263.5, so it's gone down, I guess. San Francisco, all right, Louisiana, it's got a governor, it's got a house, it's got a senate, it's got 2 senators, it's got a bunch of Congress people, right? Running everything. Big government, ladies and gentlemen. For approximately the same number of people in the general area for San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley, which would, which incorporates, I guess, some of Silicon Valley, but not quite. $778 billion comes from San Francisco. Not only do they have this approximately the same population, but they have half the GDP of that city. Half. Almost exactly. The San Francisco, Oakland, Berkeley area has about the same population and 2.5 to 3 times the GDP of the entire state of Louisiana. Now, let's see. Kentucky has almost an identical GDP, maybe a little bit more, ironically enough. If you count the weed cash crop that hides there, it's probably even greater. Oregon, Portland, Oregon, rip Portland, hashtag rip Portland. It's so sad. I mean, we hate to say it, but it's just absolutely true. There's just no way around it. Portland. Goodbye, Portland. You twisted mouth. So sad. Where's the harbor? Where's the gap? Goodbye, Portland. So nice to know ya. No sense. So sad. Renaissance fairs on a latte fence. Hashtag rip fucking Portland. Oregon, which is basically Portland as far as its output, that and the ag business in the eastern part of the state, has, let's see, similar population and about, let's see what, about $10 billion more output than Louisiana does. 4.2 million people in Oregon, 331 billion, same list. Louisiana's economy, let's see, smaller output than San Francisco, Oakland. Let's see. Yes, a table would help. And this asshole, again, these are small government conservatives. The government can't do anything right. Well, then tell me why the fuck your entire state needs more than a mayor and a city council. Utah. Marvin, Thelma, and Provo. Those are three of my favorite names. $300 billion. Utah has 3.4 million people, almost a million fewer people, and almost an identical output. Utah. Utah has a higher GDP per capita. I mean, and obviously, per capita, what a bunch of bullshit that is.
And when you say per capita, there's many per capitas. It's like per capita relative to what?
Honestly, you know what I mean? Okay. So I like the governor and the Speaker of the House of Louisiana and everybody who works in their state government to explain to their constituents 20% of, nearly a quarter of which need food assistance or some sort of help, why the fuck they have so much government for so few people. What is it, the land? Does the land need tilling? It can't stand on its own? Meanwhile, let's hop over to a comparatively tiny little place. Where is it? Rhode Island. There we go. This is the Rhode Island governor. Who is, hold on.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I do just
I'm up here where we speak like Kennedys.
want to just start out in terms of the time frame that we've had to work with.
Democrat of Rhode Island.
Received a letter around the 10th of October. I got briefed on this around the 16th of October. So over those 12 days, we've been working on multiple strategies to help families and help individuals who are not going to have the SNAP benefit on November 1st. So today I'm going to go into detail on.
Did you hear how he framed it? Sorry, I know it's low volume. It's just how they've recorded it. Let me see if I can.
There's still work that we're doing that has to do with a large portion of SNAP beneficiaries, and we're still working on that. So it's unfinished. There's a certain amount of unfinished business here that we're still working on a short time frame. So good afternoon. I want to thank Rhode Island Community Food Bank for hosting us here today. I've stood at this podium many times to advocate for what's best for Rhode Islanders, but I've never...
Both of them. By the way, Rhode Island has 1.1 million people, a GDP of $65.3 billion. That's about 58,000 per capita. Again, I think, let's see, what are we talking about? GDP per capita available. Yeah, about 2/3. But you want to talk about income inequality? Rhode Islanders have about 2/3 the amount of GDP per capita than Louisiana people do.
Had such an urgent and troubling message than I do today. More than 100,000 people in our state are at risk of going hungry on November 1st.
That'd be about 10, what is it? 10%? Yeah, about a little under 10%.
That's because
That's because Rhode Island has fewer people per capita that need food assistance than. Oh, you can't hear me? You can hear me.
President Trump and congressional Republicans are playing games with the basic needs of our residents. First, they decided to put health.
By the way, you'll notice. Can I show you something too? Fuck you, Josh Hawley. The Rhode Island, these guys, the Louisiana guys, are all standing in front. They got their podium, and there's a big painting behind them of probably, I don't know, it's probably a memorial to the last slave sold in Louisiana and how sad they still are about that. Notice how he's standing in front of this, and the guy from Rhode Island is at a food bank with the foodbank.org thing set up, because this is what you do. This is how you help people in lieu of this. The video is very low on this one. I apologize, but I'll translate as best I can if it's too quiet.
Coverage further out of reach for many people who need it most. Now, rather than addressing the glaring need, that same leadership has doubled down and decided to send children to bed hungry.
Right. So what they're doing is he's announcing in this that they are releasing funds for emergency food aid, and at the same time asking those with means in their state to support the food bank, so that if people who need this assistance can't get it from the federal government, the state will pick up as much as they can, and charity can pick up the rest. Which, by the way, in any other time would be seen almost as a conservative answer to this. Charities, churches, food banks, that kind of stuff. The charity of human beings contributing so that you don't need the government to assist you, right? That was the whole thing. The Rhode Islanders are just going, yep, that's what we're going to do. That's what they're going to do. Hungry children don't sleep, says Greg. I've gone to bed hungry in my life many times, especially as a kid in Kentucky. So, yeah, you do. You kind of pass out. That said, let me jump over here to this other guy. Congress hasn't acted on the issue because of money. Is he talking about? Yeah, here you go. This is Hawley's talking about. It's getting worse. Josh Hawley urges Dems to vote to end government shutdown as SNAP benefits freeze. Hold on.
On MAGA voters of the ACA and SNAP deadlines. I think there's a previous versions of the Republican Party who might have said these are Democrats' constituents. Some people are saying that, but there are a lot of Republican voters as well who are impacted.
Well, yeah, listen, I don't care who they voted for. I mean, my view is that
you kind of do.
No child in this country ought to go to bed hungry.
Fuck you. Okay, remember what I said about how that the more Republicans actually have to govern when they're forced against their will to do the shit that's necessary. Otherwise, it will cost them their seat or their office or the power they have in their state, or, God forbid, their name and fame in the state after they leave office. Notice how they're like, children need help. Like, motherfucker, you guys vote against school lunches it's one of the reasons they hate the Department of Education.
Because a bunch of politicians in Washington can't.
Dude, talk to your governor then.
Decide what they want to do, and they're intent on.
Oh, no. They've decided what they want to do. They've clearly decided that the Republicans won't vote to extend health insurance for people, and those people will be in deep shit if that happens too. But you're asking people to trade, and there's no need for it. This is not money you guys actually give a shit about. You just want to kill the program so that you can say Obamacare didn't work. Why? It's like saying this horse is taking a thoroughbred and breaking its legs one at a time and going, this is a terrible horse. I don't know who would buy such a horse.
Blaming each other. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. I think the American people are tired of that. Just open the government. And if they're not going to do that, then by all means, let's make sure that kids are not going hungry. 42 million people are not going to be able to eat.
And so to that point, Senator, besides introducing this now.
42 million people. Okay, so let's talk about Missouri, shall we? GDP and population. Whole state. What do you think? think it's a densely populated area. 6.2 million people. Greater Los Angeles area, Greater Chicagoland area, Greater New York City area, New York and the 5 boroughs, same zone. $353 billion in GDP, half that of San Francisco. Whole state, all of Missouri, including Kansas City and including St. Louis and the rest of the agricultural part of the state, half the economic output of San Francisco, the place that they mock incessantly. Who pays more in taxes to care for the people of Missouri? The people of Missouri or the people who are in fucking San Francisco? I'll give you 3 guesses and the first 2 don't count. Nominal GDP is, let's see. I'm going to look up the nominal GDP for this. Searching. Okay. 57,000 per person. Even like worse per person than Louisiana. And by the way, that means there are a shit ton of people making a lot of money, and there's a few people making a lot of money and a shit ton of people making nothing in that state, in the whole fucking state. $353 billion in 2024. Adjusted in 2017 dollars, GDP per person in real dollars, 2024 is about $57,000. 6.2 million people in the whole fucking state. California has 44 million people, 2 senators. A red state senator should be fucking embarrassed to demand anything in the Senate. You are always going hat in fucking hand to the federal government if you are a red state senator. You should be embarrassed to even talk to your colleagues from states that have tens of millions of people in them. Like you fucking know. You're not a senator. You're a city council member for a big patch of grass. Fuck me. All right.
Legislation, what's...
By the way, can any of these reporters bring this up? Why is it that the state of Missouri has so many people that need SNAP compared to, per capita, California? California might have the same number of people on SNAP that Missouri has, but it has 44 million fucking people. Why doesn't anyone ask that part of it? You're from a state with fewer people than, some bigger cities, your entire state. Why can't it stand on its own? Are your own fucking citizens stupid? I doubt it. Have they been hamstrung by a shit education system? If the Department of Education is a problem and the standard that they set is so bad, then why do the states that use the exact same standard, Kansas next door has better output in education? What's the fucking difference? And how is that anybody's fault except the people of Missouri and their representatives? This is the part I think you guys know. I harp on this a bunch, but it is the unspoken truth of our current circumstance in this country. The loudest fucking states have their hat and their hand out all the fucking time. They treat their poorer citizens like shit. They grind their education down to a fucking nub. And then they wonder why their GDP is half that of San Francisco. The whole state. What? Explain to me why Missouri couldn't have its own Silicon Valley if all things are equal. And it can't, it's not genetic. It just ain't. Too many people moving around. So I would argue it's the leadership. It's the people running the fucking place. And if you run a state, let's see, the statistics. I love Statista. It's the statistics website. And it's always, can't get past Tell saying Missouri. That's how you pronounce it. Although it behaves like misery, it's Missouri. Just like it's Illinois. It's not Illinois. All right. 12% of Missouri lives below the poverty line. 14% of children. Adults 65 and older, 10%. Median household income is 68.5, but that means there's a huge stack at the top. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. What's the wealth gap in Missouri? What do you think? Statista. 80% of the 20 who did enter household at the 80th percentile earns 4.35 times what the 20th percentile earn. Regarding secondary rank is a relatively small gap. Disparity still exists. For example, one report found Missouri scored a 34.87 in the 2025 ranking of wealth gap by race ethnicity. State still has significant differences. Pension wealth for the older adult shows a more equal share across the white versus non-white. Missouri pensioners at 55. At $249K for black and $248 for white pensioners during the 2013-21 period. Gender income gap, the median income for all workers 15 years old, Jesus. In Missouri is $45,000 for males, $30,000 for females, 68 cents per on the dollar. Like Missouri is right on the whole like gender wage gap. It is built on it. When the ratio of 4.35 is fairly steep. When the gap between high earners and low earners is more than 4 times, there's a widespread economic capacity within the state that matters for your brand. Okay. Even though Missouri has comparatively smaller racial wealth gaps than some other states, the presence of gap means the opportunity for storytelling purposes. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Gender gap is 32%. Pension wealth among older parents suggests retirement wealth strategies may be more level playing field than they assume, which means people move there or move back after they've been someplace. Yes. Metro versus rural. What do you think that's going to be? Their metro areas suck, and their rural areas are farmers, and the farmers have big swaths of land. Rural poverty rate is 18%. Sorry, I got that wrong. The poverty rate in their metropolitan areas is just 14%. It's 27.8% higher than the urban poverty rate. So 18.4 is the rural poverty rate. Missouri's income landscape is starkly divided between its urban and rural areas. Metropolitan hubs like St. Louis and Kansas City boast higher average incomes. In average, rural counties are struggling with poverty rates above the state average. That's why the median household income is $68,000. That means that like people in the cities that are making money are making 105K, and everybody else is making 40 or 30. 18% of per capita income gap suggests rural households have much less disposable income, and that's most of the fucking state. So you get the point. All these red states, I just got those backwards because I don't know Missouri that much. So their urban poverty rate is 14.8%. Their rural poverty rate is 18.4%. In a state with 6.6 million people in it. You're averaging out at 16% of the people are under the poverty line. And everybody on the edge of it, those are the people who get snapped. Those are the people in that gray area between being able to stand on your own and being nearly in poverty. That's a much bigger group. So let's see. What's the SNAP benefit price tag of Missouri? These are the things where, okay, so in 2024, SNAP benefits issued to Missouri were $1.5 billion. The average monthly benefit to a person for everybody in Missouri, and obviously there's some that don't get it, which means some others get a lot, is $196 per person, $397 per household. Missouri needs $1.5 billion in SNAP benefits every year. Do you think Josh Hawley is embarrassed by that number at all? That while he's up on Capitol Hill taking a shit on San Francisco and Portland and Los Angeles and New York and Chicago, that the bill for his state alone is $1.5 billion every year. That on average, every person in Missouri gets $194 a month in SNAP benefits. A month. And like, again, how do you, if I was the senator from Missouri, I'd go, we got a lot of work to do. Don't talk to the fucking federal government. Don't bitch at the Democrats in other states that are paying for your state. After, like, how about this? How about go talk to your fucking governor? How about talk to your donors and the people, the industry people who think you're going to run for fucking president one day? You say audit the states? Elizabeth, they do. They audit these states, by the way, all these states, they know this. They like, this is the big unspoken reality in the House and in the Senate. And Republicans are so fucking like grossly braggadocious while they're in there, while all of them are hiding the fact that they rely on federal funding for their states to stay afloat. And nobody brings it up to them. And it would be one thing if they're like, well, we're a rural state, we don't have a lot of stuff, and it's just we're in one of these flyover situations, and we're trying, but, you know, it's difficult to get people to come here because, you know, one thing leads to another, and you got to stack it in, and we don't have that many resources and all that kind of shit, so we really do need some help. They don't do it that way. They yell at the cities that are paying for them, paying for Missouri to stand up at all, much less. It's not, Missouri's on crutches all the time. And other senators and other congresspeople in an act of comity, which I think is wise, are not going to bring this stuff up. Rich states are not going to shit on poor states and Democrats aren't going to do it for the look of it. So it's up to reporters and people like me, because I am not a reporter. I'm not a journalist. I am simply and purely Hal. And I can't be the only person pointing this out. And it's about time this starts coming up. That without states like Louisiana and Missouri and fucking Arkansas, holy shit, and Mississippi, if you took those out of the equation, our education outlook would be, you know, like 4th in the world or 6th in the world, not 40th. And again, the economic ties to education are very clear. States that spend more on public education have better outcomes, higher GDPs, and longer lives because they tend to have fewer people in them that ride a fucking BMX bike off the roof of a fucking barn yelling, "Watch this." Thank you, Cindy. Thank you for noticing. I'm the only person pointing out a lot of these things. I know. It fucking drives me crazy. Red state senators, shut the fuck up until you fix your state. It's fucking embarrassing. And again, this goes, they cannot feel shame. They need to be embarrassed. Someone needs to embarrass them. Why does Missouri need so much more support? Why is the GDP of Missouri so pitiful compared to San Francisco? Yes, blue states and Democrats have always bailed them out. You know why? Because people's lives matter. And we always will. And we shouldn't be ashamed of that, by the way. That's the other side of this whole thing. The other side of this has to be that blue states need to start bitching about the disparity in taxes going to the federal government and coming back to the state openly. We're proud to help our fellow Americans. But not while they fucking mock us to our faces, pretending that they're building on this illusion that they're fucking bootstrappers. They're not. They are not. This rugged individualism storyline that they sell is bullshit. It's no wonder that they got Trump as their leader, a man with 6 bankruptcies, the guy that every other developer in New York laughs at. Gets annoyed when he walks into the room. No, there has never been a meeting of real estate investment firms or investors or builders or fucking architectural firms or any that have gotten around and gone, "Hey, wait, guys, we can't have the meeting start until Trump shows up." They all, if he bothers to show up, they fucking groan when he walks in the door. Because there'll be another fucking hand in the till. Lord Almighty. So this is a constant issue for them. And it's got to be, we've got to hammer this. This has got to be a major part of the narrative going forward. While Trump is building a fucking ballroom. With, by the way, his own money. Fuck off. Meanwhile, can we jump over to the meanwhile? We'll go to another side of this. Okay. So much shit. Well, let's go to the real news. Let's go to some real serious stories. Can we hit that like, share the show? It's HouseSparks Megaworldwiide, etc., etc., etc. Patreon.com/HouseSparks. Support the show. Honestly, I feel like at least once a week, I'm bringing up something that nobody else is mentioning. Even the folks that are on our side that are great at this stuff. They just seem to blow past this. And I really do feel like this is a meaningful point. Like I said, anytime there's a rift in MAGA, you got to shove a fucking crowbar in that crack and start moving it back and forth. And you've also got to start calling these assholes out for being hangers on. These are, every time they bring up welfare queen, everyone should respond with, "You mean like the entire state of Missouri? You mean like Louisiana? The whole fucking state? Sorry, big government is a problem, and yet your state has umpteen mayors, congresspeople, 2 senators, a House and a Senate and a governor for a population smaller than Chicago? What are you talking about? You're not small government conservatives, or you'd fucking quit. If any of the House representatives and the Senate representatives, the state and House in Louisiana, actually believed anything about their small government conservative stuff, they'd go, you know what? We don't need government this big. There's just too many people in here, too many cooks in the kitchen. Keep my salary, spend it on something else. I'm going to go back to work. And the fact that on a state like Louisiana, with all of its problems, that you'd pick the fucking Speaker of the House from that. I mean, it was embarrassing that Mitch McConnell, from my original home state of Kentucky, was the fucking, the head of his party in the Senate and the Speaker, or rather, the Senate Majority Leader. Based on what? What part of this? What does Kentucky have to show for what they've done with all the resources in that state? There's great education there. There's great investment there. Mostly it's Arabian horses, but that's a start. Used to be the only Corvette fucking factory in the country in Bowling Green, Kentucky. There was bourbon, there was tobacco for a long time, right? That went away. Even Mitch McConnell was like, we're fucked without weed, so how about hemp? Again, red state senators especially should be fucking embarrassed to demand anything from their Senate colleagues. Especially when they're from a state with a fucking population smaller than a big American city. It's just, it's lame. But let's go to a real news story. Let's who needs... I didn't realize that Glenn Beck was doing stories about Greg Gutfeld, but apparently he is. Fucking this giant monkey wearing a mask, and he's got a fever blister. Is the idea? At least he was masked up, He was at least covering it, and then some red stater pulled his mask. Why are you wearing a mask? You gay? And then they pulled it down and realized he had a big cold sore, and then he bit them while they were trucking. I don't know why there's a truck on fire. And look, Glenn, try as you might, your shitty AI thumbnails are no competition for Benny Johnson's shitty AI thumbnails. They're fucking ridiculous. And let me tell you something. If you're having to do a story about escaped herpes monkey, which again I'm not saying it's about Greg Gutfeld. It could be about Stu. It could be about one of Glenn's exes. We don't know. Yeah, I love that they actually... I want to see the prompt to make this fucking image. A giant ape escaped from a medical facility with a herpes sore on its lip and is destroying the highways of America. I don't know what it was. I need to see. I'm going to need from now on that anybody who does an AI thumbnail, I'm going to need to see the description, the prompt they put into the image generator in their comments on the video. AI prompt for a Jan 6 Trumpanzee on a... Yes, right. They probably just put in show my favorite Jan 6er. What would Jan 6 look like if we were being realistic? Right. So, disease-infected monkeys loose in Mississippi. Well, guess what, dummy? Nobody's going to do anything about it.
I have some good news. Let's start with...
Oh, good. Hold on. This is loud. Hold on.
Good news. President Trump is touring Asia and making all kinds of deals.
No, he's not.
Donald Trump is single-handedly reshaping the earth.
Okay, well then I guess we're good.
He really is.
No, he's really not.
He is reshaping everything single-handedly. He is.
Oh, it's like what's the phrase I'm looking for? Like a great reset?
I know. He has done more than the Great Reset did with.
Thankfully, I guess, right? Wasn't the Great Reset bad? Well, I mean, maybe he means his book, which didn't sell shit.
All of that money, all of the campaigns, everything that they were doing. Listen to this, what he has just done.
It's another globalist outreach. What are you talking about? They're just, you know what they're trying to do? They're trying to do like the Pacific trade deal that was happening in 2015. They're trying to jumpstart that while pretending not to. That's what this is.
Signed a framework agreement August 28th
Framework. Oh, that's adorable.
between Trump and the Japanese Prime Minister. Mutual stockpiling of rare earth elements, REEs, okay, to ensure
Mutual stockpiling. Yeah, we have more than they do. You know what that means? They buy some of our rare earths and sit on them.
supply security. That's Japan. Cooperation with international partners, U.S. allies, to shield the supply chain from disruptions.
Oh, you mean globalism. Cool. Okay.
The goal is to reduce China's 90% control over the global rare earth minerals.
Yeah, we know that's been going on for years. We've been shifting away from that since COVID, largely. Remember the whole chips thing? Remember that shit? That's in part of the Chips and Science Act as well. Hold on. One moment, please.
For tech, EVs, defense, and AI. Okay, they have a 90.
EVs. What? I don't understand. You're sure? EVs, electric vehicles.
Percent stranglehold. So that's what he did in Japan. Now, also, but
Which he didn't do anything in Japan. Japan is not a major source of rare earth minerals. They just aren't.
that with the
You know who is? Ukraine.
$550 billion strategic investment from Japan in the U.S.
He's been talking about that same shit since the spring. Again, it's this optional if they wanna. It's horseshit. That's why it's a framework, dum-dum. They don't have to do any of it.
Including a $490 billion launch phase.
Launch phase. Yeah, phase.
$200 billion for nuclear, AI, and energy projects. Small.
Just slathered across it. This is all the shit from Alpha Bank, dummy. Or, not Alpha Bank. What's his name? Whatever, fuck it.
Modular reactors with
It's been talking about this since fucking 2 years ago.
Westinghouse and Mitsubishi.
Not him. Like, the government's been working on it.
And supply chain boosts in critical minerals. Trump tried.
From where? From where? How is this restructuring shit, dummy?
Tied that to the tariffs. Japan got an auto import tariff slash from 27 to 15%.
Right, which makes their vehicles made in Japan completely cheaper than any car made in the United States. Even theirs.
Exchange for the investments. In 2 weeks, in the last 2 weeks, listen to what he has done.
All right, in 2 weeks, what has he done?
He has made multiple pacts with allies.
Okay. Have we ever had pacts with allies before? I mean, how do you even define ally? Just multiple pacts. Sure.
Australia, critical minerals framework, mining processing, and rare earth mineral recycling scrap.
Recycling scrap. He's making deals for rare earth minerals with countries that don't have any. So they're taking their old electronics and scraping them.
Then in Japan, I just told you, Malaysia. He just did a memo of understanding on.
Sorry. Sorry, my nipples got hard. A memo of understanding. You don't say. That and $6 will buy you a cup of fucking coffee. A memo of understanding. Does he even understand what was in the memo, dipshit?
Critical mineral diversification. In Ukraine, a 10-year access to titanium and rare earth minerals. In
What'd I say?
Thailand, an MOU on rare earth mineral supply.
An MOU. A memo of understanding. These are not deals, dum-dum.
Add that to what else he has done.
Okay, so we'll add, what's 0 plus anything?
He is outflanking China.
This is the TPP redux. And he's not even doing it well. Yes, my nips could absolutely cut glass right now. Like if I needed to get out of a submarine.
He is trying to break the back of China.
Is he now? Okay, sure. Does he have a memo of understanding with China's back to break?
He is friend shoring.
He's friend shoring. Yeah. He's bringing our friends back home. Well, who drove him away, dumb fuck? By what? Getting us back to where we were before this tariff bullshit? That's what this is. We're going right back to where we were before all this tariff nonsense. This is to give him a landing strip so he can get out of his dumb fuck tariffs. Stupid.
What he's actually doing.
He's not doing anything. A memo of understanding is not something that is done. A pact for what? Australia to like rummage through old TV sets for magnets? The fuck out of here.
He is putting all of this.
Say America first. Just say America. He's putting America first while you're at it.
Emphasis on rare earth minerals. He's cutting Asia away from China.
Sorry. It's just so stupid. That's totally what he's doing. Oh my God. So he's decoupling. So we're, Jesus Christ. Oh.
He's cutting Europe away from China. He's cutting South America away from China.
No, he's not. He's declaring war on South America.
He has moved all of the resources of rare earth minerals to us.
No, he hasn't. We're the biggest market for him, stupid, besides China. That's it. China uses more of their rare earth minerals than they sell. They sell 90% of them because they make a lot of them because they don't give a fuck about what happens to the environment.
Thing outside of China is coming our way now. That is massive.
Do we have someplace to put it? I didn't know. Do we build big warehouses or whatever? Or should we just pour them into the Grand Canyon and we'll just use them like somebody can go down there and shovel them out when they need them?
Massive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the Phase 1 China deal. I remember you said the same thing about that.
We were sitting ducks with rare earth minerals 6 months ago.
No, we were not.
A year ago.
No, we were not.
Total sitting ducks. They had.
No, you're thinking of 2020 when COVID hit and Trump tried to do his shit little deal through and then got stiffed on it and got mad at Xi Jinping. That's when we were the shifting of the holy shit. Like I told you guys about this fucking mine outside of Las Vegas, which has a bunch of rare earths, almost our capacity needs here. The fucking lithium that they discovered in the Salton Sea. Like, good Lord, man. This has been going on.
Everything coming their way. We were not doing any kind of strategic thinking on this.
We were doing lots of strategic thinking on it. You think he did any strategic thinking on this? A memo of understanding. That's like concepts of a plan.
At all. And this isn't piecemeal.
I'm sorry. Like, I love that Glenn thinks he's like, wow, finally.
This is
stupid. You're being stupid. This is fucking stupid.
Operation Warp Speed for...
excuse me. That it's Operation Fart Steed. Thank you very much.
Captain's log.
All right.
Rare earth minerals. The guy is so...
Yeah, he's a master thinker. Yeah. That's the... It's, without him, this is all Elon Musk. You know, they're still having little quiet phone calls.
Head of everyone else. He is reshaping global trade.
To make it global again, after his own party tried to stifle globalism. This is the anti-globalist, by the way. Just saying. What he's saying is, instead of having a bilateral situation with China where we get this, we'll have to get it from a bunch of other places because China's about to fucking collapse. That's why. It's becoming like a militaristic state entirely. And their production of stuff and their demographic collapse is going to be all about like protecting and shoring up their own country and their own government. That's why.
And permanently, hopefully, sidelining China, so we are never having to put our hand out to China. It's remarkable what is happening.
It just I'm often stunned that he manages to get stupider. By the way, this is a video entitled "Disease-Infested Monkeys Loose in Mississippi."
It's remarkable.
It is. It's remarkable. Stu doesn't seem to believe it. Stu is reading the same thing you're reading and going, memo of understanding. Pacts with allies. Those should go without saying. Don't you automatically have a pact if they're your allies? If they have stuff and they don't give it to you, they wouldn't be an ally, I guess. And
now let me give you another story. A truck hauling 21 monkeys to a testing facility in Florida.
What were they testing? Lube?
Overturned in Mississippi.
How did we make this jump?
Because if he doesn't jump to something ridiculous, Stu, like this, that can drive a clip or something, he'll have to admit that a memo of understanding is fucking ridiculous.
Has he
It is not a deal.
signed a memorandum of understanding?
See, look, I told you. I fucking told you. I told you he's stuck on it. He can't read it and go, memo of understanding. I don't know, Glenn. Memo of understanding. It sounds like a jerk off. Like you go all the way over there and kiss everybody's ass, and all you come back with a memo of understanding. What the fuck does that mean? That's not a deal. It's not a pact. It's nothing. There's a memo of understanding. You can tell. I told you. It's stuck in his goddamn head. He's like,
With the monkeys?
Nope. They're still negotiating. According to the Jasper County Sheriff's Office,
By the way, a memo of understanding means the beginning of negotiations. It doesn't mean the end of negotiations. But Glenn, of course, is fucking stupid.
accident occurred on Interstate 59 near the 117-mile marker just north of Heidelberg.
Trump's America.
6 rhesus monkeys from Tulane University
Those are the ones with peanut butter inside.
escaped. Officials said 5 of the 6 that escaped have now been destroyed. We have been in contact with an animal disposal company to help handle the situation.
Boy, I want to see an interview with those guys. Yeah, they call us down here anytime they got, this is my Monkey Blaster 2000. They only call us out for these big jobs. Usually I'm doing snakes. Sometimes I do like cockroaches, shit like that. But being down there in Florida, it's mostly, at this point, herpes monkeys, herpes alligators, herpes boa constrictors. Because not only will they thrash you a good bit, drag you underwater, stuff you under a log, eat you later, but if you do survive, you got a big nasty sore. So we got to... Shit, I shouldn't have recocked it. That's dumb. That's action movie bullshit. I'm sorry. You don't have to recock. Once there's one in the chamber, you ain't got to... It just looks so fucking macho. The other day, I was standing there with my Monkey Blaster 2000, and I was just like showing all like hack hack like that a bunch of times. When the monkey showed up, I was fucking empty. I ended up having to throw the shells at him. It was fucking embarrassing. See the sore on my lip? All right.
The Mrs.
By the way, they were taken to Florida largely for it wasn't for medical testing. They're taking them to Florida because they were ordered off of Tinder.
Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries, Parks, and I guess now
And monkeys.
monkeys
Right, yeah, that's there.
is still looking for one diseased monkey still on the loose.
Have you, have you checked the studio?
100% the beginning of an outbreak movie.
Oh my!
Yeah, but wait, what are you gonna have people do? Stay indoors, isolate themselves, protect themselves against a diseased monkey on the loose? No, you tell them to go back to work and walk around, send your kids to school. You know what I mean? Don't let the government control you. But with all this like monkey pandemic bullshit.
That's exactly how it happens. Just the one gets away. Oh, we got 5 of the 6. What's the big deal?
What was the one? What was the movie
Oh dear. 28 days later.
with what's his name? Tommy. Remember, he was the escaped convict. He was the doctor, and they were hauling him. He was the doctor from Ohio, based on a true story. And they're hauling him, and he escapes. He has to try to prove himself innocent. Remember?
Fugitive?
Yeah, fugitive.
That was really that.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's not the story at all.
I was
It's
I was looking for a deep cut there.
Yeah,
You're
no,
talking
no.
The Fugitive.
Fugitive. Sorry,
Okay.
I couldn't remember.
Yeah, that's not the story at all. It's Richard Kimball, based on a series. Chicago, he wasn't in a truck, he was in a bus.
The Fugitive and Outbreak. That's what this is. It's those two movies combined.
No, it isn't. It's 28 Days Later, The Roadshow.
That would be a good movie.
Right.
I don't want it in real life.
Well, you do. And don't worry, it was headed for Florida, where no one would have noticed.
For a lot of this not to be happening in real life.
What are the diseases again? We got a little Hep C going on.
I
We got a little COVID.
I don't.
I think there's 3 of them. It's Hep C, COVID, and what was the other one? Herpes.
Oh, and herpes.
What happens if we combine all 3 into one monkey and then release it into the wild? What could possibly go wrong?
It sounds like Trump. That sounds like an RFK Jr. thing. We'll get everybody to have a immunity to all 3 naturally. Why inoculate people when we can just release a diseased monkey and it'll spread, and the winners will live, and the weak will die, and we can make America healthy again, which again, as I pointed out this morning, is not make Americans healthy again. And you can make a lifeboat healthy again by throwing the sick person overboard and letting the sharks take care of it. So I would prefer a Make Americans Healthy Again program. But I'm being silly.
Can I tell you something?
Oh, fuck. He's gone all Jimmy Dore. He wrote something down, didn't he? He's looking at it. Stu knows it's coming, too. Shit.
We are in real trouble. I mean, I hate to bring this up too. I mean, okay. Did you need diseased monkeys on the loose today from me? No. Can I?
Maybe there should have been, people at the competent people at the CDC that hadn't been fired. Maybe precautions. I don't know. Maybe a functioning government around these kind of things. Maybe the NIH and the CDC aren't our enemy.
Make it worse? Absolutely, I can make this worse.
Have at it.
When we had the COVID thing, and
We did? You mean the hoax?
we're all like, we shouldn't have these labs everywhere,
Oh, like the labs with all the crazy, gain of function research and things like that.
Yeah, we didn't. We don't. We do not. Well, we didn't for a while, and then Trump, of course, brought back gain of function because Obama shut it down, and anything that Obama does, you have to reverse. So Trump reopened it, and then we got COVID, and then he was like, "We shut it down right away." No, you didn't. You cut the security funding. That was his way of shutting it down, by the way.
Yeah. We've built hundreds of new labs now.
Trump obviously shut them down immediately. That's why they were moving the monkeys.
Hundreds of new labs. There are more than 3,500 BSL-3 and over 110 BSL-4, biosafety level 4 laboratories. And all of them are now working on pathogens that could kill all of us.
Right, because they're looking for a cure in case those pathogens, which do naturally occur, actually break out. That's how you would do it. And by the way, he's counting any hospital with a testing facility and a lab in it, or any university with the same kind of thing. These are not dissimilar from how you would study any of these things. We didn't just build these randomly. They get licensed.
So, a 2025 Journal of Public Health study reveals over 90% of the countries that operate these labs have no oversight whatsoever.
Yeah, so we don't have them. They exist in the world, you're saying. So there's 3,500 of these worldwide.
All of them are working on diseases that can kill us all? There's not like one that's doing like yogurt flavors or something?
No, there's not one. No, there's not one.
No.
There is not one. I wish there were.
Why would you have a biohazard level 4 lab working on a yogurt flavor unless you were trying to poison everyone with yogurt? Stu. Sorry. That was my bad. 1 second. Stu. Okay, so what you're saying is everyone at the Blase is in on it.
Oh, they keep saying these are shields from what's coming. No, these are matchsticks. That's what these labs are. These are giant matchsticks, and
No, they're not. No, they're not. We live in a world of matchsticks, and they are trying to make fire extinguishers. Moron.
We're sitting in a bunch of kindling. They say they're developing.
Even Stu is like, that's a stupid fucking analogy. And also, what's that memo of understanding horse shit again?
Vaccines, but what they're really doing is enhancing the viruses. Which when I say enhancing, what that really means is they're weaponizing viruses.
No, they're not. No, they aren't. I'm sure there are some that are doing it in Russia, in China. I guarantee it. That's one of the other reasons why you have versions of them here where you can be prepared in case it breaks out again. You would think in a response to COVID, you'd go, oh shit, what if it's not a respiratory virus next time? What if it's a virus that causes leukemia or shit like that? What if it's a virus that, that exacerbates cancer or something like that, like FPV does? Right? Or not FPV. You don't.
So don't worry. It's just gain of function, which translated is loss of sanity.
I mean,
what a moron. Okay. Again, so who authorized, I guess the question is, in America, what Glenn is saying is that, thank you, HPV. I don't know, I got stuck with FPV, the first person view for drones. Got stuck in my head. I apologize. HPV, thank you. So Glenn needs to tell everybody, was it RFK Jr.? Was it Trump himself who okayed gain of function in the United States?
The research makes me very nervous. I mean, the fact that we have more labs that have higher safety standards, in theory, that was one of the problems with the COVID outbreak.
Oh yeah, who cut off the security funds for Wuhan? Who was it? What president cut funding while he allowed gain of function to continue, cut funding for the security that we were doing through the World Health Organization of the Wuhan lab? Does anybody remember? It happened somewhere between 2017 and 2019. I don't even remember who was president at the time.
They were doing research that should have been done in a BSL-4 and a BSL-1 and a BSL-2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, having more 4s that could be good, right?
Oh.
I mean, just maybe.
Did you see the BSL-4 in China? In Wuhan?
Well, I think that was the issue there, is it wasn't a BSL-4.
Right. And, well, no, I think they called it a BSL-4, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
It wasn't one.
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Glenn's talking out of his ass. This is what I would call the Stu conundrum at the Blase. Is that Stu, while also dumb, is dumb adjacent. Like, he's nowhere near the total brain eclipse idiocy of Glenn Beck. And so he reads stuff and it won't leave his head. So even when he wants to continue selling this horse shit, he still has to I know this though.
Do we have a BSL-4 for monkey research? I think maybe.
I'm not really sure.
Don't transport them. I know
Georgia.
If they're diseased, just keep them in one place. You don't need to transport them anywhere.
Apparently you do. Florida needs diseased monkeys and they need to be already diseased when they arrive. Again, I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum, but I'm not saying I heard that DeSantis wants to fuck one. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Atlanta, they're building another 150,000 square feet of a BSL-4 in Atlanta. So that's the place.
Who's they? Who's they? Who's licensing it? And also, raising something to a BSL-4, even if they're handling pathogens less than that, it just means that's the security level. That's what Stu was kind of trying to bring up. But Glenn is stupid and cannot process this at all.
Well, you know where all the zombies will be. Can I just tell you a quick little story? 1979, Soviet Union. You know, they're...
All right. He looked this up and he was like, fuck, man. This asshole he's doing PM Magazine.
Trying to, maintain this BSL-4. They're not very good at it because, they're not good.
Because the government doesn't believe in real accountability and they don't really care about people and stuff. Oh, like the government we have now. Sure. Okay, go ahead.
But it really anything in 1979 in Russia?
Except nuclear power. That'll be safe.
That'll be
in the
totally,
future.
They're exactly right. Okay. So there was a cloud released from this biosafety level lab 4. No flames, no alarms, just a faint invisible mist. It's kind of like my teenage son's farts. Okay. It's invisible and it's deadly. And it was carrying anthrax spores. Okay.
By the way, there is no way the studio they're in does not reek all the time.
From the weapons lab. Well, people began to die, clearly. We don't know how many. They think hundreds. Entire families suffocated because the bacteria devoured their lungs. And so they were like, I can't breathe because I have no lung. Okay. And the Kremlin was like, Niet, not happening. What are you saying? The people are eating tainted meat. That's what's happening. And it's eating their lungs.
They Chernobyled it.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so for a decade, nobody really knew what was going on until the fall of the Soviet Union. And then people were going in and they're like, oh,
sure. So basically what you mean is awful shit's going to happen right now. And we're not going to know about it until after Trump is gone from office or has passed away.
Here's what happened. In one of these biosafety labs, a technician failed to replace an air filter properly. And
yeah, we're talking about 1979 fucking tech, dipshit. Thank you, Linda.
And that allowed this microscopic storm of death to be released into the air. I don't know. I mean, if your air filter not being installed properly can kill a bunch of people, and they blame it on the tainted meat, they McDonald's. I don't know. I don't really think that we should. We have them all over. 149 nations have them now.
Right. What are you gonna do? Bomb them, dumb fuck?
149.
There's definitely not 149 nations that should have stuff like that.
You don't think so?
No, I can't. I don't even know that I could name 149 nations.
Try this one. In India, the labs now are experimenting with the Crimean Congo viruses. Fatality rate of 75%. In Russia, under its Sanitary Shield initiative.
Okay, this is just like panicking about the rest of the world. Weren't you just telling us about how he's building global alliance pacts? Here's a good one. Tie it to the first story, dipshit. How about that? How about you tie these two together and go, these are the countries. What about the countries that Trump just made a pact with? He has a memo of understanding with. Bring those up. Why do you say it? Like, maybe Trump toured one of them. Maybe that's why he looks like shit.
They are building 15 new BSL-4 sites. In Brazil, Project Orion, a high containment complex integrated with its particle accelerator. Ooh. And as I said, Atlanta, 160,000 square feet.
Hold on. Real quick. I'm going to check. Fuck, this is stupid. I'm going to regret this, aren't I? Project Orion, a laboratory complex for advanced pathogen research being built by Brazilian Center for Research in Energy and Materials in Campinas, Sao Paulo, Brazil. It includes a biosafety level 4 containment facility, the highest level of biosafety for handling highly dangerous pathogens, virus, bacteria, fungi that can cause severe and untreatable disease. The lab will link to or leverage the nearby Sirius 4th generation synchrotron light source at CNPEM, making it globally unique, a BSL-4 lab integrated with advanced material science imaging and analysis infrastructure. Its first operational capacity will be around 2026, full operations by 2028. The lab will serve both domestic and international scientific communities, public health agencies, and will reinforce national health security, surveillance, and disease response capabilities. It's often Brazil and Latin America often lack capacity to research very dangerous pathogens domestically. Orion gives Brazil greater autonomy and capability. The combination of advanced biosafety and synchrotron imaging allows novel research approaches, faster vaccine and diagnostic development, and better materials/biology links. Brazil is positioning itself as the science and health hub for the region. Branding, there we go. Safe, high containment labs bring risks, ensuring proper regulation, transparency, international best practices. I'm going to bring up something that's not in. Where is this? This is the Journal of Nature. I think this is where Trump. So yes, open there. This is, I think, pretty much where he got this from. First biology. Yeah, okay. In South America, for study of the world's deadliest diseases is set to open. Hold on. Move this down real quick. Boop. Move this up here. Thank you. And shrink it down. There we go. Construction is underway for the maximum security Brazilian facility, which will face costs and regulatory hurdles. That's it. Last month, Brazil celebrated breaking ground on whatever. Okay, there's a big plot of land right now, and this is what it's going to look like. This is a image. This is this is what it's going to look like this area right here. This is the accelerator, and this is the facility right next to it, so they can use it to image these things and develop vaccines faster. Which, by the way, the vast majority of these things they use for, hold on one second. There we go. They use for agricultural diseases. Like the ones that, Glenn eats on the regular.
Apparently, we don't have enough room for all the monkeys that we're releasing out into the wild, and eventually we'll find and then put them in there and torture them or do whatever it is we do. No,
Why would we send animals that we're researching to a facility in Brazil that isn't going to open for 2 fucking years, you tit? I mean, this is embarrassing anyways. It's stupid. But there's plenty of stupid to go around, and I don't have time to get to all of it, so I want to jump to something else. Let's go to the fact that we're still in Charlie Kirk was murdered by his own people. This is, let's see, this is probably Jimmy Dore showing Ian Carroll footage and like other people who've been talking about this shit.
It's okay, son.
Okay.
He has wits about him. He's just directing. He had blood.
Okay, so that's that guy is the father of Mike McCoy. Why do I have to fill in the fucking gaps in these assholes? These are your clips. You guys can't figure this shit out. Mike McCoy's father was talking to him on the phone allegedly when Charlie was shot, and he talks about what he went through. And there's this whole thing. Jimmy will look up at the camera at some point and go, "Huh?" Because he says he was covered in blood, but McCoy was far away from him. I think it might have been after he went with them to the hospital and he was covered in blood. And there's that kind of mix up. Is it like extraordinary circumstances? People tend to fuse moments together and whatever. But this is where they'll get it.
All over him. And Frank Turek.
Sorry. Yeah, that's what they're going to stick on. He had blood all over him. Now, Jimmy got this discovery from, I think, Ian Carroll or one of the other people.
It's okay, son. He has wits about him. He's just directing.
Hold on. Oh. One moment, please. Let's see. Custom. Let's see. Go. Hold on. Let me hold for a second, guys. That was my stepmom about my dad, I think, and so we'll see. Hang out for a second. I'll leave you to talk amongst yourselves while I check on this. So give me 1 second. Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. I anytime my stepmom calls, especially if it's at an odd hour for them because they're on East Coast time, I get, I'm like, I got to take it, especially right now. I hope that's all right. Anyways, I've got about another half hour. I'll do about 15 minutes, and if that's okay with everybody. And then I got to call him back, but he's okay. He's all right now. She was just checking in with me because I tried to call her earlier and that kind of stuff. So I appreciate you guys, patience during this time. It's cool. All right. So I want to jump back into this. All's well. Thank you.
He had blood all over him, and Frank Turek.
He had blood all over him. Now, I just showed you the video where he clearly walked away before Charlie Kirk's body even hit the ground.
Okay, so the big storyline here, in case you haven't followed, is that Charlie Kirk's chief of staff, there's video of him, he gets a phone call, he walks away like this, and then the gunshot happens. He's covering his ear, and there's a big from the crowd, and there's a question as to whether or not he knows that a gunshot has happened, because he puts his earpiece in and he's walking with the phone up, and that whether or not he heard it is the thing, and he walks away, and then shit starts going down, and then he keeps talking like, oh my God, something's happened. But the idea, let's just sit in the fact that the current storyline is that Turning Points USA is behind the whole thing.
Charlie Kirk's chief of staff is super suspect to the point where it looks like to
the point where Jimmy Dore is basically just borrowing other people's incendiary reporting off of TikTok and other places just so he can carve off a slice of this. And it's working, by the way. His videos about this stuff are getting hundreds of thousands of views.
In on the assassination and he looks like a zombie. So James Lee, we showed you this, but here's James Lee also breaking this down, and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Right. Other people will do the reporting. So Jimmy's just playing other people's videos.
Let's watch this.
Mikey McCoy, Charlie Kirk's chief of staff. This is him on the day that Charlie died. And let's just say his behavior was a little more than just odd that day. Check this out.
You can see Mikey identified there on the left, or standing next to the left of the
Right. He's looking on his phone. He puts his earpieces in before the shooting happens, and he walks away.
Charlie Kirk has just a few seconds left here on this earth. And you can see here, as soon as Charlie is hit, Mikey, in one swift motion, picks up the phone and looks to be calling someone. Very odd. He doesn't duck down like everybody else. He doesn't run to Charlie's aid. He literally picks up the phone and turns around.
By the way, in a situation like that, just say for the record, people act all kinds of different ways. But and again, I'm not here to defend these people or whatever. I'm just pointing out that in this situation, the idea that you knew, in retrospect, there was only one shot fired, and that was that. But everybody else fucking skedaddled or moved around or hid or ducked down or didn't know what was going on or were shocked or whatever. And people just react how they're going to fucking react. And so the idea that, like, in retrospect, there was only one shot fired, why didn't he run to his aid? Well, at that point, as far as he knew, shots were being fired. So a lot of people didn't run to Charlie's aid, even his security team, it's like one guy who ran over to him. The rest of them all kind of were either looking around for the shooter or whatever. Like, it was, like, everybody reacts differently in these situations. It's all fucking tinfoil.
Starts walking.
And by the way, he does that in under a second.
Right. He didn't go, it's done. We did it. Yay. Like, who the fuck? It's like the whole story about them, somebody Google searching the people involved the day before or whatever. Like, if you've got a plot, why would you have to Google them? You know what I mean? If you're about to carry, why would you go, okay, who am I supposed to kill? Like, it's so stupid.
Charlie Kirk, his body hasn't even hit the ground yet. He hasn't even fallen off the chair. And his chief of...
Right. We know now that he got shot and fell off the chair. In that situation, that may not be what he understood was happening in that moment, especially within a second of a gunshot sound or whatever the fuck it was. By the way, these assholes are all gun happy anyway, so they don't react to gunshots the way the rest of us do, period.
Staff puts the phone to his ear, turns around and starts walking away calmly and slowly like a zombie.
Which, if you were in on it and it was all part of a giant conspiracy, you would absolutely do.
That's what's happening there. His chief of staff didn't even wait for he couldn't even see if the bullet hit him.
Right.
Because within a second, before his body even falls off the chair, his chief of staff, Mikey McCoy, picks up the phone, turns around, and starts literally under a second. It's 800 milliseconds.
Right. That's what makes it even more normal.
I gotta take this. One sec, guys.
Yeah. Hang on. He got shot. Hang on. I gotta take this.
You got the keys, by the way?
I gotta take this. Yeah. So let's keep. Maybe he just got an automatic callback from the.
Oh God, he's reading fucking jokes off the fucking paper again. Kurt has to cue him with jokes. Is this what his stand-up is like? Does Kurt have to fucking sit in the audience and cue his jokes to him live as well?
Warner Spectrum cable people, because you know how hard it is to get through when they auto call you.
Oh God, look at him reading it. Like it's an actual joke. This is like if Gutfeld was a fucking had gallows humor.
And you got to take it if you want to talk to a person.
Yeah,
so maybe
you're
he's
going
like,
back
"Oh
the
damn,
line."
I'm getting that call back from Spectrum Cable."
One sec, guys.
One sec, hang on.
Back to the footage one more time. You can see, again, Charlie is hit. Mikey, on movement, picks up the phone and starts walking. And there he is again. You can clearly...
No, you can't clearly see him. By the way, the dude, in less than a second, is on the other side of the tent.
see that he appears to be on the phone with...
There he is.
No, he doesn't. He appears to be yelling at the guy next to him while holding his phone with the thing still in his ear from whatever the fuck happened.
He's got the backpack on, and he's...
Yeah, he had his backpack on when he was standing there.
Walking away calmly and slowly, and he's on the phone.
Somebody.
Calmly and slowly. It took him an eighth of a second to clear that entire tent.
It's a quick jam-packed little video.
Yes, they're saying it's an inside job. I'm just saying. Like, this all points to, from their perspective, from Jimmy / I mean, he doesn't have an original thought in his fucking empty goddamn dome. But this all comes from Candace Owens and Ian Carroll and all the people who are ate up with the dumbass about this particular thing, where everything, you know, is an aha after the fact, right? And so they're all interpreting everybody's actions based on what they expect, which is, oddly enough, that it was not the trans-adjacent lefty that killed him from a rooftop, but an inside job by Turning Points USA, I suppose, so that Erica Kirk can take over and be more pro-Israel. That seems... And all the people, by the way, who worked with him all the time, who were his friends, who he hired to protect him and work with him, all that, they were all part of this.
In this shot here, Charlie is still on the ground with people around him. And I'm just going to drag through the video to get through to some of the interesting spots. We've got Mikey McCoy, and he is right here.
There it is. Another angle. You can see Charlie below being carried into the SUV.
Yeah, it was a minute and a half later.
Mikey is in the distance, looks to be still just on the phone, casually strolling away from the scene of the crime.
No, he's fucking far. If anything, it looks to me like he was on the phone and bang, and he's like, shots were fired, and then he ducks over this thing, and then he thinks other people are handling it. He's like, I think there was a shot fired, blah, 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 and he's just in his own head about it in a self-involved asshole. But the idea that he's casually strolling from a still shot or a jagged piece of video is just fucking lame.
The guy who just got shot, he doesn't even know what happened to him, because as soon as...
Well, then obviously he can't be part of the scheme, because he would have to make sure it happened, I guess.
The shot rang out. He turned around, went on the phone, and started walking away. He didn't stick around. He didn't stick around to help his buddy Charlie. He didn't stick around to make sure his buddy...
Yeah, I'm starting to think Turning Points USA is full of assholes.
Got in an ambulance, because he didn't. He didn't stick around to make sure that somebody was treating him. He didn't stick around to even...
He didn't even see that he was the one shot. He may have assumed at this point that Charlie was okay, but he was cleared and he didn't know what the fuck was happening.
Find out what happened. He immediately.
Well, he didn't have to. He obviously knew what was happening. That's what we're saying here, right? That's what happened, right? He knew he was part of it, and he was the worst member of the conspiracy because he did everything short of applauding or something.
Got on the phone, turned around, and started walking away. And there he is. Here's Charlie.
Also, how do I know that's him and not just some other person in a white shirt with a black backpack?
Yeah. Time Warner sucks to deal with, you know? You got to take that call.
Yeah, you got to take that
call. It was
call.
very noisy at the time.
Is that normal?
Is there anything normal about someone being murdered in that way in front of a bunch of fucking people? No, there's no normal way to react to that for anyone, by the way. Unless you've been around a bunch of them, I guess. If this is your third fucking assassination, maybe you're a little jaded at this point.
And maybe the bigger question I'm thinking, and you're probably wondering the same thing too, is
Nah, probably not.
Who was he calling?
Well, apparently he was talking to his dad at one point, but maybe later at the hospital he spoke to his dad, and his dad's talking about that phone call when he actually went and saw Charlie and maybe touched him and had blood on him and that kind of stuff, which could have happened after the fact, or he went and got in the other vehicles after he figured out what had happened, and then they...
Well, I did some digging, and according to the New York Times, it was one Erica Kirk.
Aha! This is why women should not be allowed to be in charge of things. I'm starting to think she was obviously tired of being a trad wife, and she wanted to run the organization. She was really the brains behind the operation anyways. And this is just I'm just saying, the Dallas reboot sucks.
Miss Kirk was sitting in her mother's hospital room at 11:23 a.m. local time in Phoenix when she saw the number of her husband's longtime assistant, Michael McCoy, appear on her phone. In retrospect, she said she knew the words, "He's been shot," before Mr. McCoy screamed them. According to official records, Charlie Kirk was shot at 12:23 p.m. Mountain Time, which is 11:23 in Phoenix. So if the New York Times is being 100% accurate, the only person that Mikey could have been on the phone with is Erica. But the weird part in all this that I can't really let go of is that he witnessed practically nothing, right? He saw Charlie get shot, then he picks up his phone, supposedly calls Erica, immediately turns around, walks away. He didn't even look at Charlie, so he would really have no idea.
Again, the assumption that there was only going to be one shot is another thing. It sounds like the guy was a coward and an automaton more than anything else. But apparently he was like, he's been shot. Like he called Erica, like, oh my God, he's been shot. And, and he was just trying to clear the noise and get away from people while this was happening because they've got people. What is he going to do? CPR? And again, if there's shooting going on, he's going to get away.
Of Charlie's condition, unless, of course, he was told by somebody. Maybe somebody was feeding him the information as he was on the phone. I don't know.
Or he could just hear people yelling it as he was walking away.
Or the quiet part out loud is maybe he knew something was going to happen before.
Or maybe Turning Points USA is chock full of dickheads.
Or it did. Oh, and one last little bit. You'll never believe who was searching for one Mikey McCoy a few months before Charlie's death in July.
A few months?
July of 2025.
Well, there's the meeting that they had. That was when Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith were at Turning Points USA.
I won't say it.
Israel.
Oh.
So
no, the entire country of Israel was not searching for him. There was a spike in people looking for who the fuck he was. Presumably, I guess, so they could call his chief of staff and go, "Hey, dude, what the fuck?" But again, why would people involved in this, if it was a big conspiracy that involved Turning Points USA? I mean, how much Epstein evidence is there on everyone in this fucking circle? Why the fuck would you have to Google someone if you're part of a giant conspiracy?
From Israel, there was a Google search. Now,
right. When Dave Smith was talking about anti-Israel shit at Turning Points USA and people were upset about it and they called the bitch about it. And later on, Charlie Kirk told Megyn Kelly that he was catching shit for having Tucker and Dave Smith on in July. That's when that was.
We've shown you all the crazy Google searches the day before this.
Yeah, it's not the same thing.
Assassination. Somebody from D.C. was Googling Tyler James Robinson, the guy who they're trying to pin this on.
Right. Again, congratulations, lefties and trans people and activists of all sorts and Antifa. You're off the hook because the sleuths are on it. Clearly, this was a murder that was put together by Turning Points USA and Benjamin Netanyahu. And on that note, I'm going to go check on my dad. But thank you guys for tuning in with me. I'm sorry I started late, but, family stuff as it is. I will be doing my regular show tomorrow, and then I'm flying out late tomorrow night to visit family, and I'll do my shows as best I can on the regular schedule. But bear with me if something moves around, and I appreciate your patience during this time, and I thank you guys for all the love and support and the kind words. And I just want a quick shout out to Richard Chu in Chicago, who reached out today and just was just aware of what was going on and just reached out to send good thoughts, and it was really sweet of him. He's a good dude and I like him very much, and it was a very sweet thing. So I can't tell you how much it means to me that people are doing that. So anyways, I appreciate you guys a ton, and I will see you guys tomorrow at the regular time, and hopefully regularly from this point forward as best I can. In the meantime, I'm gonna go out chill, if it's all right. I'm gonna go call my stepmom. Appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. And if there's somebody in your life you haven't talked to in a while that you appreciate and you love and you've lost touch with them, kind of like we did during COVID, drop them a little text. Just send them some love, randomly, going, hey, thinking about you, hope you're doing great. You don't have to call me back, just letting you know. You mean a lot to me. Whatever it is, whatever works for you and for them. But it's never a bad time to do that. Also, if you ever see a celebrity that you like, don't worry about their response. Go up and tell them you appreciate them, because it might be like my experience with Madeline Kahn, that I regret to this day that I didn't tell her, and she passed away a year later. And no band that you like knows they're on their farewell tour if one of their members passes away. So if they come to your town, go see them live. Same thing with comedians and plays. Anybody live that you appreciate, when they're around, let them know. Love you. Thank you guys so much.